Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Not Much Ordinary. I just wanted to talk to you today about body confidence and body positivity in relation to NMO and kind of in general. It's always something that's been quite important to me, well, since forever really. I've never really been one to follow the crowd in terms of fashion and image and style. To a point, yeah, I could argue that I do. You know, I've said in another video I really like rockabilly fashion and fit 1950s fashion, and I do. And I think some of the girls that wear it and some of the guys that wear it, they look absolutely stunning. I tend to just wear it kind of relaxed, unless I'm going out somewhere and I'll do the whole kind of petticoat and makeup and stuff. I'm not good at kind of victory rolls and stuff. I think they're absolutely stunning, and I think if someone could do that for me, that'd be amazing, so I'm just too keggy-handed for that. But yeah, body confidence and positivity. I've watched YouTube for a number of years, and there's one YouTuber called Helen Anderson that I've watched for years and years and years when I first started bleaching my own hair and wanting to dye it lilac, and I stumbled across her videos, and this is going back a few years, and I think at the time she was a size, I'm sure she said she was like a 14 to 16 or something, a UK 14 to 16, and I remember at the time her saying she was getting like hammered and slated for being plus size and being curvy, and she's got quite a decent YouTube career now, and I think she's a 10 to 12, and I know she's gone down to like an 8 before and gone back up and whatever, and she always promotes body confidence and body positivity, pardon me. And I think she said, and I can relate to this, that it's with that kind of thing, it's not saying that any sort of body type is right or attractive. It's not, there's no stereotype. You've got to just be happy with yourself, I think, to have your own body confidence. And I don't think necessarily very skinny people are very attractive, or very fat people are very attractive, or medium people are very attractive. I just think personally, no matter what your size is, you are attractive. If you have a really amazing personality, and that I always think shines through, doesn't matter what dress size you are, fat, thin, short, tall. I'm 6 foot, I'm a size 18, oblique 20. I could be thinner if I really wanted to. And my weight has gone up and down a lot over the years with steroids and with health. In my first video I said about, you know, steroid weight, and I am going to do a whole video about that when I've got a bit more energy. Prior to NMO I was a 16 to 18, more of a 16. The last time I was a 14 or a 12, I was probably in my early teens, and I've always kind of lingered around the 16 to 20, 22, and then when I was on steroids for a long time, because of my appetite going absolutely insane, and because of the steroids kind of giving me the prednisolone tummy, those of you who've taken it might know what I'm on about, I would have forgiven anybody thinking I was pregnant. I am not pregnant, and blimey, that really hit the other week when I came out of hospital. Some miracle I hadn't put any weight on, because I do try for my own self to keep an eye on my weight, because I am overweight for my height. I'm fully aware of that. I'm not disputing that I'm not, and I would feel better if I lost more weight, which I had started to do prior to getting ill. So that will happen at some point. At the moment, I've got enough kind of on my plate to think about than calorie counting, for example, or following a diet, but I do try not to overeat to the point where I was on pred before, because for me, I didn't feel comfortable being a size 24, really a 26 at my height as well. It was a lot of me to carry around, especially with the state of my back and my hips at the time. So I tend to plateau at about a 20 to 18. Eventually, maybe this time next year, I'd be really happy if I was a size 16. Personally, that's my own feeling, but it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and start starving myself or do anything like that to get to that weight. I'll do it gradually, I'll do it steadily and when I'm ready. And that's one of the things I've learned with me personally. If I want to lose weight, I'll do it for myself and I'll do it at my own pace. A few years ago, I was really kind of hitting it hard and really doing it, and to be quite honest, I actually got quite down about it because I think that element of control had been taken away from me, even though I don't think I'm a control freak per se, but because parts of my health are out of my control, which I'm sure some of you will relate to, like I can control my health to a point. So why do I want somebody else then telling me, or a diet plan telling me what I can and can't eat, when I can't even decide myself some days how I'm going to feel or what my feet or my legs or my back are going to be doing? So that kind of following a diet doesn't suit me very well. I do use my Fitness Pal. I was using that before I got ill. I quite like that because it is calorie counting. You can kind of log it on your phone, you can scan things. And it does make, if that works for me quite well. I've known quite a lot of people that have worked really well with that because you get that element of portion control, calories, and it does make you think about what you're eating. I was doing Slimming World before and it's fine. Again, loads of people have loads of success with it. Fantastic. But for me, it just wasn't right because all I could think about was I have to go and stand on these scales every week. I can't eat this, I can't eat the other. Oh, that's just, you know... When you've got a chronic illness, perhaps the last thing you want is somebody saying, or a book saying, eat this, eat the other, don't do this, don't do the other, because there are things you will find you can't do yourself anyway, generally in life. So for me, that kind of doesn't work. So the body positivity and confidence thing, in all honesty, I've never really looked in the mirror and thought, oh my gosh, I look in the mirror and see me. I see me that's got this autoimmune illness, that's learnt to walk again and done it again recently, that I am still getting there, that I have struggled through this, that works, that's a mum, that's a wife, I see my friends, I try and do the best that I can for other people. In work, with my friends, with my family, I try and look after our home as best as I can. I try and look after myself as best as I can. And I think that's where my confidence comes from. I also do amateur dramatics when I'm well enough. Unfortunately, I had to drop out of a pantomime recently. I was absolutely gutted when I got ill. My hips had got so bad and my legs had got so bad, and I had to make the massive decision to drop out. Thank goodness that I did, obviously, because then 2 weeks later I ended up in hospital, and that would have been devastating. But I certainly will be going to see that because that was such a shame to do that. And I will be doing a video about hobbies and NMO as well, and how important hobbies can be when you've got a chronic illness. So the body positivity and confidence just kind of comes from in here, really. And it took me a while to get that without thinking I'm 6 foot and I should be a size 10 to 12. Like I say, you know, sure, I'd look and feel a lot better than perhaps I do now, but you... How do I put it? Oh, gosh, sounds very cheesy. I know now why YouTubers struggle when they say they talk about body confidence, because they don't want to sound cheesy. It's just about finding peace with yourself. And I think that then will come through. Like, I don't really care, like I said, what people look like. I go on personality, and if you treat me well, I'll treat you well. If you know, that kind of thing. I don't care what size you are. If you're a nice person, you're a nice person. And it's all that kind of thing. My hair, however, is a different story. And whoo, it's mental. My hair is not all my hair. And this is part of my own confidence, that I bleached my hair for a number of years and wrecked it, basically. But I wanted to bleach it because I like having pink and purple hair, and I like the whole kind of Marilyn Monroe kind of blonde hair. However, it did get to a point where it started to snap off, and I was like, ugh. So I did start dyeing it brown for a while, because I'm naturally like a mousy brown. So my hair got really thick, but it didn't really grow. And then because I was battling moon phase, which I'm saying I'm a bit pudgy at the moment because of the pro, I just felt a little bit conscious of it, and my own confidence and my own self was being affected then. Not my dress size, but just kind of how this was kind of looking a little bit. So I wear an LA weave, which is sewn in. My hair extension specialist, a genius. So when it's down, it's this is like extensions, as you can see. So my own hair's right down to here, which is brown, and then because he's such a genius, my extensions are rooted with the blonde going through, and eventually I would like it blonder, but I prefer having the longer hair for my own confidence, because I feel more attractive with long hair, and it takes the focus away from my face if I feel a bit pudgy. So that's my own thing. I have my eyebrows waxed because I go full on monobrow otherwise, and I've had those done for years and years and years for my own confidence. If I don't feel very well though, I couldn't really give two hoots what my hair looks like, what my eyebrows look like, but generally I'm quite happy with how I look, and I will spend money on my hair and things like that. So that's my own thing, but generally in life I try and view myself positively. I don't really worry too much about the size labels of things. It's very nice when I go down size labels. I think, oh, that's great, you know, that's got a couple of inches off my waist, that's really good. But if it goes up again, then that's okay too. A couple of the brands of clothes I wear, one's called Lindy Bop. Those of you who wear Lindy Bop, oh God, their sizes are just ridiculous. They have a size chart for each dress. I've got sizes from that brand in my wardrobe: a 16, an 18, a 20, a 22, a 24. If I line them all up side by side, they are exactly the same measurements. There's another one called Lady Vintage, who are UK based. I think because Lindy Bop don't make this in the UK and Lady Vintage do, the sizes for Lady Vintage are better. So I'll tend to wear an 18 or a 20 in Lady Vintage. But again, it's just getting over what that little tiny size label says. I'm very lucky that I can wear my pretty dresses to work and people always say, oh, you look nice. And I say, thank you very much. And then that typical thing my husband picks up of, oh, it's from so-and-so, it's from Lindy Bop, it's from Lady Vintage, or whatever it may be. But try not to worry about that. And I think, again, when you've got a chronic illness and you're putting weight on with steroids, for example, or gabapentin or pregabalin, or any of the ones that kind of are weight inducing, or naproxen as well can be a one apparently for it as well. Don't beat yourself up about what dress size it is. If you're happy with yourself, draw on the positives of what you've achieved, what you've overcome. And if you're going through a relapse, don't worry about what you look like. The first thing I did when I came out of hospital was put on my pretty dresses on, in probably one of the biggest sizes I've worn for ages, because my stomach had blown up so much. It was so uncomfortable. I felt like somebody had been up with a bike pump. I'd had 6 days on laxatives twice a day, Movicol and lactulose, which granted worked at the end, and I did feel a hell of a lot better. Well, my stomach was full on protruding, and I thought, do you know what? Say what? Say what? I've just come out of hospital. I'm poorly. I'm on a lot of medication. So what? If I look pregnant, or I look a bit round, or I don't look, you know, toned. So what? I've just come out of hospital after learning to walk again. I've got a chronic illness. I'm fighting it. Go me. So don't be too hard on yourselves. And guys, I would say this applies to you as well. You know, I think body positivity and confidence can apply to both genders, and just have peace with yourself. And if you want to go out there and lose weight and get fit and get toned, go for it. Because I've said in another video, I want to go back to the gym next year. Not necessarily to lose weight. When I am fit enough, I want to work on my own stamina so I can walk further. I can stand for longer periods of time. I have a 6-year-old to run around after who needs his mummy to be playing with him and various different things. That's my own thing. But yeah, so that's my thoughts for today. So look after yourselves, be kind to yourselves. See you soon.